welcome to another video by The Healthy Way. I'm Siobhan. I'm here to help you make some healthy changes, make everything really simple and help you get to know yourself a little bit better. When it comes to our food choices, there's always more going on than we realize, and some of us see it as black and white when it comes to willpower, and it's not. A lot of the time it's just not. So I'm hoping that some of the education that I provide in these videos will help you to, again, make those changes, think a little bit differently about food, because the way that we're thinking at the moment just isn't working. One aspect of coaching I have found quite helpful, I'm talking to parents, but we can all kind of put ourselves in that place, is that when we leave home, we start making our own food choices. We lose the kind of parental care that we used to have as a child. You know, we used to have someone there to make sure that we weren't kind of overstressed, that there were nice things planned for us, that breakfast, lunch and dinner was a must, that it definitely happened. We had snacks, we always had access to food for ourselves, and with someone there watching our back to make sure that we made the best decisions that we could, and that even if we weren't going to make the best decision, someone else was going to make that for us and make sure that we were happy, really. And when we're older, we kind of lose that. Like, a lot of my clients would go hours and hours and hours without food. Some of them don't even eat until maybe 4 or 5 in the evening. That's the first time they're eating something, and they've gone through a whole day feeling tired and run down and stressed and, you know, just exhausted, really, because they've put everyone else first. You know, their kids might have gone up with perfect packed lunches, perfect breakfast, they'll have a dinner made, everything like that. You know, you'll have looked after everything for everybody else, kind of just making, you know, really in that pressure point, making sure everything's got done, you know, real perfectionist at work. Then we kind of blame ourselves when we get home, because we're like, oh, well, why am I eating all of this rubbish now, and look at me with this huge meal, and I just can't control myself around food. And we don't see the huge amount of pressure that we put on ourselves, and we don't have our own backs these days when it comes to making sure that it's balanced out. You know, if we're doing so much for everybody else, having a career, raising kids, you know, doing all of this crazy stuff, you know, we need to have that balance of, well, look, what am I going to do that's nice for myself? How could I look after myself today? Look, I wouldn't send my kid out. I wouldn't send anybody's kid out without food in their bellies for the day. How are they going to concentrate and things like that? And yet we'll do it to ourselves. So just really what this video is about today is to try and put yourself in that parental role for yourself. Have a look at your day. Think back. What did I have? You know, what could I do a little bit differently to look after myself tomorrow? That's the biggest thing. Never, you know, go back on today and judge yourself and blame yourself, because what you feed grows. If you feed the idea that you are terrible, you're always going to be like this, you can't change, you're always going to be heavy, you know, you're never going to be one of those skinny people or whatever, and you have it boxed off and you're here and you're never going to be there, yeah, that's exactly what's going to happen. But if you think to yourself, look, forget today, all I can take from today is what I could do better tomorrow. So it's called solution-based thinking. For example, if we took that client there who didn't start eating until 4 or 5 in the evening, and he or she had to sit down with themselves and thought, what can I do differently tomorrow? They might say, do you know what, if I grabbed an apple, or if I grabbed even just a Baby Bell, or, you know, I grabbed a banana going out the door, that's a huge change that I could make. I'm going from not eating till 5 to bringing it up till maybe 8 or 9. I'm making sure that I grab something that's realistic, so I don't have to spend half an hour cooking and sitting down and eating that you might not have at the moment. Just making it as easy as possible. If your child came to you, or your friend came to you and said, I'm not having anything until 4 or 5, and when I do eat, then I have to eat everything because I'm starving, you know, just taking that few seconds and that objectivity to think, what could I do differently? You're never stuck with who you are. There's always room for improvement. And a lot of the time, if we just took 3 or 4 seconds or minutes to think, what could I do differently, rather than, why do I always do this badly? Why do I always do that? Why can't I do this? You know, if you ask those questions, your brain will answer it. It'll tell you that you're useless, that you can't do it, it's just not in you, and whatever. But if you ask yourself, what could I do differently? You might surprise yourself. So have another fabulous day, and I hope that you'll be having that little bit of a sit down with yourself. It might even be in traffic, it might be a lunch break, you know, it might not happen for a week or so, it doesn't matter. But just think, what is one tiny change you could make that would make a difference in your life? And if you did that every couple of weeks or every month, you'd be a different person by the end of the year. Take care.